Okay, so last video was about my life as an RPG, and I'm still drawing hands at the moment, so bear with me, but I think it went pretty okay. Anyways, so if that's my life as an RPG, and that's, I used to be a pretty big gamer, now all I do is draw, which is cool. I never really thought I would ever be able to say that, all I do is draw. But, prior to drawing, my other big addiction, or my other big drive to do well at something, and sad to say, the story of my life really, at this point, is I really wanted to do something, and I got discouraged and never went full on into it. So, aside from, that sort of sad story, the other thing is, I really like playing fighting games, like Street Fighter 4 and Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Those are the main two that I play, but I enjoy all sorts. And, and I've always wanted to be good at them, and it was fun to play. And then I ran into a group of friends, met a group of friends, and that was my first opportunity to really play with skillful people and actually learn how to play the game. Prior to that, I would just kind of dick around in training mode, and I wasn't really learning too much. I didn't know anything about how to do a combo at all. So, so I met these friends, and they were good. We were all learning to get better. So, unfortunately, though, yet again, my self-esteem got the better of me, and while we were playing, I would play endless amounts of matches. I would play tons of matches with them, but I never really wanted to put myself out there. Um, and there's a lot of stuff to learn. I mean, in some ways it's easier than drawing, in some ways it's harder than drawing. I mean, it's a reactive thing to do. You're playing one person against each other, and moment by moment you have to make decisions, and your hand has to be in line with your thinking, your mind has to be in line with your hands and what you see on the screen. But enough about all that. So let me give you drawing as a as Street Fighter. As Street Fighter. So I learned a lot from playing fighting games, actually. There's a lot of stuff that I can apply. Maybe I'll apply later at a different point. But the main thing is that there are a lot of foundations and concepts in a fighting game that maybe the average player isn't really aware of. Just like the average artist, well, the average beginner artist might not be aware of different foundational aspects of drawing, like perspective, like color theory, anatomy, all that stuff. So, let's see, where to start? Well, in Street Fighter, there's 1 versus 1. Um, let's say I play Cammy, because I do, and you play Ryu. Okay, so there's a stage, there's 2 corners of the stage, there's a health bar, um, and basically it boils down to offense and defense. There's a timer, and whoever has the least health at the end of this round loses. Whoever has the most wins. Um, if your health reaches 0, you just lose automatically. You know how fighting games work, I'm pretty sure. But how do you go about handling that? Well, let's see. On the offense side, there's offense. There's kind of spacing out your attacks, throwing a punch at the perfect range so that you hit without, running the risk of getting hit, at the good timing to do that as well. Um, let's see. So in Street Fighter, there's a big thing where, if you get a knockdown on the person, they're kind of laying there on the ground, and it takes them a while to get up. That lets you get an opportunity to do a mix-up. And so, just in offense, there's spacing, which, you could also call it footsies. There's mix-ups. There's combos. And within combos, there's links and cancels. There's a lot of subcategories just to offense. And then in defense, you got to worry about, alright, so how do I avoid the mix-up? Or how do I space defensively instead of offensively? And, in some ways, the best defense is a good offense. You've probably heard that saying before. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can take away. So, what do I say all this for? Well, at this point, I don't really know. I'm kind of making this up as I go, but I've been thinking about it. And the main takeaway is that if you want to be a good Street Fighter player, you have to master the foundational aspects of Street Fighter. So you have to know your spacing. You have to know your combos, and you have to practice them to the point where you don't drop them. Say, for instance, you have this nasty combo that takes away any opponent's life, like down to half the meter or whatever. And, well, yeah, it's a great combo. But what if you can't do it in a match? In the heat of battle, what if you just drop that thing all the time, and you only get, like, you know, say the combo has 5 hits, and you only get to the second hit, and then you stop the combo. Well, in Street Fighter, that means you've left yourself open, and now your opponent can attack your opening. And so you potentially had the combo to do, you know, half of your opponent's life and tear them apart and put them in a really bad situation. But once you drop your combo, if you haven't practiced it enough and you're not, you know, pretty much like one with that combo, well, now your opponent gets to do their combo. And guess what? Your opponent has been practicing. Your opponent knows how to do their, you know, nasty combo that takes away half of your life. And now you're in that situation. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy. You want to be the one that has done all the research before your opponent has done the research. You want to be well prepared. You want to have your combos down so that you don't drop them in the match. And so just like in that, there's the same concept in drawing. Again, it's all practice. I mean, there might seem to be some talent, but it's really just hours put in. The best arcade player, or the best Street Fighter players play endlessly. And they play a lot of matches. They don't necessarily win a lot of matches, not at the start. They just play a lot. They get a lot of experience, and over time, even if they don't learn match by match, you start to realize, okay, what made me lose? What made me win? What can I do to win more? What can I do to lose less? And yeah, I mean, you have to get the experience. It's not going to come by just researching. It's one thing to know. It's a different thing to understand and have it internalized to the point where you can recall what made you win and what makes you lose, you know, off of the top of your head. And that's what playing the matches is for. A lot of the time I was playing, and I would get caught up so much in, oh, I'm losing so much, and, you know, this is not going very well, and it's not really working out for me. Well, just gotta play. You gotta play to win, and you also gotta play to lose so that you can understand how to win. As harsh as that may sound, that's just how it is. That's just how it is. So, get in there, practice your combos. I mean, your artistic combos. What are your artistic combos? Well, they involve perspective, and then you can cancel that into anatomy, and you can cancel that into value in color theory if you want to paint. But all of it requires everything to work off of. So practice it all. I mean, it's going to take a while to sink in, so don't really expect yourself to get your combo, your perspective combo, today. Don't expect to get it tomorrow. Just expect to get it eventually. Practice until you do. Let's see, in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I play you know, a variety of characters, and I was practicing a combo of Taskmaster for a while. The first day I started to practice it wasn't going too well. You know, I would get to a point and then I couldn't figure it out. So I'd pick it up the next day, got to a certain point, couldn't figure it out past that. But every day that I came back, I got an understanding a little bit differently. And even though I didn't practice it consistently like I should have been, well, let me cut this off now.